Alright, this is a new option strategy course here, course number 2. A little more advanced, a little more information. This is going to go over options that is currently losing me money and what I think that would be better. So in Stocks S, I've been trading Stocks S options, calls, and puts, and hopefully from the first videos, or you already know that what calls and puts are. This video is not about that. So if I'm going in here to trade Stocks S, and March 22nd options just came out, so there'll be some that are like zero. Puts. Yeah, Stocks S puts. Okay. A lot of them are like at 0% and stuff. So if you come and look at my options here, it'd be like Stocks S 7.5 call, Stocks S 3.5 put. So let's see, it'll be all options right here. See, it says $2.16. So if you click on that, what one option is $2.16. See, that's wrong, because it's showing me it's at 1 cent here, which isn't true. It's not even that. Like, it's saying $2.30 some odd cents. That means I'll be astronomically rich if that was true. So see how this is all screwed up? Literally, someone needs to call them about this. They're like, you're scammers. March 22nd. $2 and something cents. And you can see that I had 12 of them. But yet it's down 75% today. So noting that, is this one actually valued at $2.16 now? So Monday morning, is it going to flash that? See, what happens is that there's people that's allowed to buy this after hours. Like, especially California, they can buy stuff way after our stuff's closed. That makes no sense to me. It's allowing them to get ahead of me by playing off my mistakes. Alright, so since this is all screwed up and it's not showing you the correct stuff, I can't really tell you, but I'll show you how we go through here and what other people have said. So if you was going to buy this, see how mine went to 1 cent, which it should actually be $2.16 right now, according to their screen on a Saturday. So if you're in here and you're buying these puts, which were out of the money before, it was 1 cent, and it said nobody was trading this until after the market closed, and then it popped it to $2.16. You can sit here, and I'll show you the simulated profits on that option. So if you come up here, there's 12 of these. So if I simulate my returns, and we're going to $2 and some odd cents, the price went down, and this is going to roll up to $2.16. That's how much money they should be giving me according to their screen right now. Because it's times 12, 3.5 times 12. That's $2,517 off of literally like a couple $100. And I seen it happen like flash Monday morning, or flash at 9 o'clock in the morning. There'll be like $2,000 on my account and stuff, and then it disappears. Noting that. So how do you play this? The ones that go to the 1 cent. Well, it takes the graph to know this, okay? So we were running in Stocks S, so we need to change over to Stocks S, which we can run Stocks L to get the long side of the story. On here I have a McClellan oscillator that gives me the buy flags according to a 932 setup. You would do like a 912 setup or 913 count, which I think that it's counting the bars. Anyways, ChatGPT made that up. You can contact me for that script for the McClellan oscillator, but otherwise you can use a MACD. It shows you a really good example of how to use a MACD strategy and where the lines cross down here on the MACD, you know that we're about to go to the upswing or whatever. So you can see right here that we're about to go for a major upswing. And this is the semiconductor. It's kind of already started the upswing, which could be a fake sell, because now if you look at the McClellan oscillator, it's getting up towards a sell signal. So we could have the crash delayed. It could still come down and bounce off this white line here, this yellow line. But this is the point of what I'm telling you, is that if we're getting ready to gear up for a bounce like this, see how we stop here and we bounced up all the way up there. That is the time which you want to be, and the low here is you want to buy the puts that are out of the money, which is the put or the call, whichever direction you're going in, out of the money. When you hit the market reversal, you can go and buy the puts that are out of the money, the ones that I've been buying that have been just decaying and dying. So once you hit the bottom of the market or the top of the market, see one of these tops or one of the very bottoms, you can go ahead and purchase out of the money puts. They're safer at that point. Calls or puts. When you're bouncing and oscillating in between here, intraday options, and the puts that are out of the money are going to end up losing the money because everyone's going to buy them when we get to the bottom of the market, which were supposedly there. Maybe that's why the puts went up high yesterday, and they hold them off so that people can't make money. You need to understand that. Like, they will purposely hold off all those calls until Monday so that you sell and it fakes you out. So let's get back into Robinhood. Like I said, $2,000. You want $2,000 right off of $100? Let me see how much did this actually cost me. The market value now is $12. That's at 1 cent, or basically $1 per contract. And it was at 6 cents, so it was literally like 600% more when I bought this contract. So I lost 600%, or the max that you can lose, which is down to $1. That means when it comes back to life, it's going to go 600%, and that was at the bottom of the barrel. 600% was. And that's why it says when it goes simulate my returns at $2.16, I've got $2,500 off of $100. That's just the type of wins that we want to get. And like I said, they're not going to give you that win until we're at the very, very bottom of the market and you are brave enough to go in here and buy it and lose 50% of your money or 100% of your money. That's how that works. Now, let's take the other option strategy of how to play options intraday during the middle of the up and down swings. And so not swing trading the options, but day trading the options. So what you want to do is, instead of coming down here into buying the puts that are out of the money, you would say, okay, if we want to play the same date because we don't want to get too early, then you would say, okay, these numbers are wrong, inflated numbers here. You would say, okay, yeah, we're nearing towards the bottom of the channel here, which in the SOX S, that's a put still. So if we're still riding down, if we're at the top of the channel, middle of the major channel, but we're reaching the top of it and we need to intraday back down, then you would go with the call that's in the money, which is opposite. Not, see where I have this 92% down, 8 of these at 92% down, which says it's 1 cent, but it's actually $2.25 here. That's another 25 that's another 2 grand, almost 2 grand on those 8 calls. So my account should flash from putting 200, 300 bucks into it to $4,000. That's how that works, okay? And those are super risky because you run 100% out of your money until the turns around, and they can just delay the market until you've lost so much money that you're just like, I can't deal with this, or you literally can't sell it to anybody else, so you're stuck. Now, so what you want to do is intradays, you're going to come down here and you're going to buy a in the money call, which is the opposite of what I told you in the first video. So when we're at the end, you go above the strike price. When we're in the middle, you go as close as you can to the strike price or below the strike price here on calls of where this is $320 right now. Well, that doesn't mean it's going to be $320 because if you can see mine, like some of these are $51 still, but the one that I'm in says $2.25, but you go to my front screen and it says I've got zero money and I lost, and I don't get my 2 grand. Okay, so you need to set these limit orders, and you're not going to get 2 grand. It says that's the ask is the 2 grand, which means that, okay, whoever has these options reefed up all the limit orders to 225, which is basically what I should do, but you should put in a step up to 225. So if you go back and look at your graph, you'll see in the call option, you'll see that it steps up to like a max peak of the $2.25. Let's say there's a huge spike, but it's only one big spike for 1 second, and all the machines are going to do the transactions at 1 second. It doesn't mean you're going to get 225. It means that during all those transactions, the highest price that it sees is the last price that someone had set their limit order. It doesn't mean that someone is buying that. And the mark price is just between the last buy, which is the last bid, and the ask price. Doesn't mean anyone bought at $2.25. It doesn't mean anyone bought at $1.75. It means that whoever has the options in here, and the majority of them set it at $2.25. So, and he probably has options that are set at every level between what we're at now to $2.25, and there's probably like 100 of them or 200 of them. And whatever it is, it's more than me, and so he's controlling the price. So what you would say is you would come down and try one of the in the monies call options at the right time of the day, okay? And the same for the puts. So if you go to the puts, you say, oh, I have 12 down here. Okay, that should be when we hit the very, very bottom of the market and we're going back up on semiconductors because we're on SAS S. And vice versa. If we're at the top of the market, we go with the calls that are out of the money. And then once we ride it down, it's going to turn into $2,500, okay? That's how that works. Doesn't mean you're going to get $2,500, and by the end of the day, all options that are on your screen are going to cost $0 because no one's even able to trade. So, why get in the money? So we're going to put. And you want to buy a put that's in the money, which is astronomical, 530, right? So if this strike price, this one says 530, and we want the $8 one to equal 530, okay? So that means the strike price is going to have to move down, and that will increase that money. It's going to increase these puts that I'm in. These are like $11, okay? So you go from $8 to $9, $7. So you need to get up a strategy that's in here, that's in the money during the middle of the intraday stuff. So if you bought this $9 put that's in the money, and you're gonna get this $3 call that's in the money. Okay, And then you don't have the risk of losing the 50, 100%, like what you're seeing on my screen of where it goes to, I buy them at 10 or 15 cents and it goes to 1 cent. When I'm trying to buy them at 10 or 15 cent areas and then go to like $1, I mean like 200 or 300% increases, okay? So that's the difference now on doing that. So let's say we are at the beginning of the top here all of a sudden, okay? So we go into some out of the money puts. We attempt some out of the money puts with extra cash that we have. You would do puts on SOX L, or you would do calls on SOX S right here, okay? And so the out of the money puts, all of a sudden, once we get down here, they're going to be worth the max amount of the money. They'll be in the money by then, okay? But let's say we come down to right here and you're like intraday, okay, we're at the bottom of the market, right? It's a new bull market. We're at the bottom of the market here. We should buy the out of the money puts on SOX L, or we should buy the out of the money, out of the money calls on SOX S. And then you would be like, okay, it rides up here, and then you would make no money and be like, well, why was that? Because you're out of the money. And we know that we're not at the bottom of the market. So everybody isn't going to buy the out of the money stuff until you hit here and until you hit here. So here you're going to do in the money. So if you're going to run SOX S, which is opposite of this, means that SOX S is peaking right here. So we would need a SOX S is then going to go down. So we need to put on SOX S. That's in the money. And then over here, the in the money one will have gotten a little bit more premium. And we'll say, why is that if nobody's trading it? Well, you're right. It wouldn't happen if nobody is trading it. But it would happen if somebody is trading it. So if you go into here and you're like, okay, the strike price is here. Let's say we're at the bottom of the channel, so we need to build the SOX S is going to go down. So we need a put that's in the money. So we say this one's up 329%, right? So let's not do that. We would want to go with the cheap in the money. The cheapest in the money that they got out here is going to be, and the further you get up here in the strike price that's in the money, the better. So we go with this 90% down one, and this is $223. So if you come in here, so SOX S is about to go down, so you want to do a put. So in a sense, you would say this one, right? The one that I have. So, yep, no, that was right. Sorry, these ones are in the money, the puts that are in the money. So yeah, we're at the bottom of that channel. SOX L is about to go up just intraday, a little bit, maybe a half day's worth. And we want to play a put, a day trade put here. So we go in the money on SOX S. You run 365. Let's just we'll pick the $3 one. That's easy. Okay. So if you come over here, there's going to be chance of profit. That doesn't make sense. None of that makes any sense. You're looking for volume, which is 0 today, obviously. But what you want is the volume on these right here in the middle of the screen. The volume needs to be more than 0. Okay. So you want to maybe take a couple days and figure out if there's any volume in there at all in the first place. So watch it. On your watch list, you can add them. And so I added these, right? And so I was like, oh, I'm interested in this cold that's almost out of the money. And you look on here and you're like, okay, volume 1. Okay. That means that you bought it and nobody's going to buy it from you, okay? So that was basically a bust. Volume 0. Let's try SVIX here. Volume is 0. And that could be because it's Saturday. But what that's telling you is that nobody else has been buying. This one says 2. So you got 2 people in there that are fighting each other to trade this option back and forth. And obviously that's probably because it's out of the money and no one's going to do that. That's what I was at, and all of a sudden you see, oh, I'm losing money. It makes sense now. So that is how you're going to run the options. Get a good idea of that, and let's turn $300 into $4,000. Have a good day.